Dean White, quote unquote, has come out with some pretty strong words for Eddie Hearn following the announcement of this verbal agreement, terms being reached for the AJ Fury fight. As you can see from the title of this Pep Talk UK interview, it says betrayal. It's ridiculous. The Fury versus Joshua 2 fight deal was a slap in the face. And on this IFL interview, it says he's been failed by Eddie Hearn. Dean Whyte on Fury Joshua agreement and repercussions for Dillian. Do you guys agree? Do you think that it's betrayal? Do you think that it's a slap in the face? Do you think that Dillian Whyte has been failed by Eddie Hearn? Well, I guess a better question would be, what would you do in Eddie Hearn's situation? I know it's difficult for most of us to imagine being in Eddie Hearn's situation because he's a multi-millionaire and he's been rich his whole life, raised up with a silver spoon and all that. But if we can for a second try and put ourselves in Eddie Hearn's shoes, would you delay the undisputed fight and make Dillian Whyte the priority to get his shot against Tyson Fury? Or, knowing that Anthony Joshua is still a viable cash cow at the moment, but he's vulnerable, would you look to put him in against Tyson Fury as soon as possible? Not just because of the fact that he's still a viable cash cow right now and he's vulnerable, but also because we don't know what's going to happen to the sport of boxing over the next year. I mean, the situation in the world at the moment is so uncertain that you really, let me give it to you guys to answer the question, but would you want to strike while the iron is hot and make the AJ Fury fight as soon as possible? Or would you be like, nah, let's put Dillian Whyte in there. That's the right thing to do. Tell me what you guys would do in the comment section below. Maybe you think, yeah, well, Hearn, etc. shouldn't be greedy, right? Because they've made enough money. Eddie Hearn is a multi-millionaire. So if the current situation in the world prevents the AJ Fury fight from happening, let's say Whyte fights Fury, win or lose, whatever happens, the current world situation flares up again next year in the wintertime, and then all of a sudden, the undisputed fight can't happen. Maybe some of you are going to say, well, doesn't really matter, Eddie Hearn's made his money anyway. But from a boxing fan perspective, wouldn't that be disappointing? So tell me what you guys would do in Eddie Hearn's situation. Would you make Dillian Whyte the priority, or would you make the undisputed fight the priority? That's really the question here. I think that Eddie Hearn is in a jam. I think it's a difficult situation to be in because Dillian, according to Eddie, has already had his lawyers contact the WBC. He's already doing that. He's not having it in terms of an undisputed fight happening before he gets his crack for the WBC strap. So we'll see what happens there. Bob Arum said that it's possible Dillian Whyte gets made WBC regular champion and Tyson Fury gets elevated to franchise champion. And Dean Whyte talked about that actually in at least one of these interviews. Would Dillian be happy with that? Or would that be something, that he's unhappy with? I have to imagine he would rather fight Tyson Fury than, fight somebody else for the regular title. Somebody who would be put on him as a mandatory challenger or whatever. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below anyway. I'll make another video about the possibility of Wilder actually fighting Dillian Whyte for the WBC regular belt to pave the way for the undisputed fight to happen sooner rather than later. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, the question is, what would you do if you were in Eddie Hearn's shoes right now? Not if you were Eddie Hearn, but if you were in his position as a promoter, would you look to make the undisputed fight first? Would that be your priority? Or would it be getting Dillian Whyte the WBC shot, which he's been waiting so long for and fighting all these tough eliminators for? Let me know in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.